Welcome back to A Bucking Boutique Pet Grooming. This is Charlie we have today. And look what happened after 8 weeks. Look at all the hair that I shaved off of him today. I wanted you to see it just to see how much hair there really was. Charlie is a golden doodle, and today we're going to be putting a number 5 blade all over his body and his legs. We're going to be doing a C comb, which is a comb attachment all over his head, his face, his ears, and his tail. His mom likes him to have a very short haircut. It's much easier to take care of. There's not a lot of brushing going on. And he is a big dog, so I put together a little time lapse for you guys so you don't have to watch me shave the entire dog. Here we go, speeding it up. I wish I could speed this up in real life too, but it takes a little while to get through all these big dogs, but man, do they look good when they're done. And while I am shaving him with a 5 blade, I still have to brush up and go over this probably 2 or 3 times. Depending on how your dog's hair falls, you may have to brush it up 7 or 8 times, but that is how you get a dog smooth. You brush up, you go over it. And if you feel like the hair's not coming off, then you just keep brushing up and keep going over it until it all comes off smooth. Because what you don't get with your clippers, you will then have to scissor. So to save your hands, let your clippers do most of the work. Then you don't have to scissor as much later. See how I pull up on his skin sometimes to make sure it's taut so that you won't get his skin caught in the blade. That's how dogs get cut. I'm stretching his armpit out. That way there's no flappies, under the armpits for those skin to get caught in the clippers. There's so much to remember while you're grooming dogs. It's the care of the dog, not only what their haircut is going to look like, but you have to make sure they're having a decent time too and not upset. You have to look for skin tags, moles, which way you're bending their arms so that they're comfortable. There's a lot that goes into dog grooming. But the reward is fantastic. See how I raise up his neck while I'm going underneath and just move that noose out the way when you need to. It can be very frustrating in the beginning to get things smooth, but you just have to keep at it. Whenever you're learning something new, you're not very good at it, and it takes a long time and a lot of repeat practicing. But if you have your own dog you're grooming at home, you can do that every month. You can practice shaving your dog and take a picture the first time you do it, because you're going to think it looks horrible, but then you can see your progress as you're going along. Don't worry about messing up your own dog's hair, just keep at it. Keep pushing through that difficult. It's going to feel weird in your hands. I would say if you buy a pair of clippers that is not cutting correctly, you'll have to check out your blades to make sure they are actually cutting. But buy a decent pair of clippers that can handle these thick dogs. Your at-home husband, boyfriends, or just your own pair of hair clippers for people is not gonna, it doesn't have the power to get through dog hair. It's just so thick. I have people that tell me all the time, I tried my husband's clippers on, but it wouldn't go through. I was like, it's too thick. Human hair and dog hair is totally different. And this time I'm running a comb attachment down his tail. They don't like a big fluffy tail, but this is great. It keeps the mats free. And I'm running the comb attachment on his head backwards, as you can see. And I don't take it over his eyes because I want to leave a little bit of hair to make a visor and just finish it off. Yeah, I leave just a little bit in front of the eyes, but when you go down the ears like this, it sets a nice little layer pattern. If you have a golden doodle, if you're a professional and your customers can't brush the ears out very well and they just don't know how to do it, you could suggest this haircut. It's becoming like a doodle thing where you just go down the ears and layer it, and it looks really cute. They don't have the mats. The dog's happy. I'm happy. Everybody's happy. Now we're doing those feet again. And remember, you're cutting the outside of the hair. You don't need to cut right to the skin, you know, when you get your scissors out and going. See how I go down the corners of the eyes? I'm trying to find his eyeballs. They're in there somewhere. And be sure when you first start scissoring, just take your time. This is sped up for you to see. This part I slowed down for you so that you can see what we're doing and the angles that I'm holding my scissors. I'm not going real close to his skin. I'm just cutting the top. That way it leaves you some leeway for the second time you brush up and go over it to see what's sticking out. If you chop it all off the first time, you have no wiggle room to fix any mistakes that you might make. You know, as groomers, we make this look really easy, but it takes probably a good 2 years for a new groomer to really get good. You know the motions in the first year, but then you really start to hone your skills in the second year. So if you're at home grooming, it's going to take you a while because I'm probably grooming 8 to 10 dogs a day. So I'm getting lots of practice. But when you only have one, you're limited, so it might take you a little bit longer. Charlie is a good boy, too. He comes about every 6 to 8 weeks, and look at the amount of hair that comes off of him in 6 to 8 weeks. He just has a great coat. He's a sweet boy. He's got great parents. See how I'm brushing the hair out? And then what I'm doing is cutting just the edges. And then you move slowly in. And then I'll brush the other side and just keep going around the tail. And I shake his tail so that I get all the sticky outies to fly out. And then he's done. Gets his tie on and he's ready to go. Thank you, Charlie, for being such a good boy today. You got your handsome tie, and we'll see you guys next time in our next video.